You ever get that feeling, that little voice in your head that says, nah, you're too old for that? Well, what if that voice has it all wrong? I mean, completely wrong. This idea, it flips that whole script. It says, for some things, you're not too old at all. In fact, you're finally ready. Let's dive into what that really means.
All right, quick question for you. When you picture a motorcycle rider, what do you see? I'm willing to bet for most of us, it's a young person, right? Someone all about speed, adrenaline, the whole 9 yards. Am I close?
Yeah, that assumption is, well, it's everywhere, isn't it? It's one of those things that's so common, we don't even really question it. It just is. Or is it?
Okay, so with that image in your head, I want you to meet Ron. Ron is 69 years old. And just to be clear, this is not some throwback picture from his younger days. Nope, this is him right now. He's a brand new rider. And his story, well, it's going to completely change how we think about all this. So, first things first. To really get this, we've got to do something that's kind of simple, but also really, really important. We have to be willing to just forget what we think we know, especially about getting older and trying new things. Because here's the thing that's so cool about it. For guys like Ron, this isn't some midlife crisis, you know? It's not about trying to be 20 again. It's actually about finding something that fits them perfectly at this stage in their life, something better. And that leads us to a really important point. The kind of motorcycling we're talking about here, it's not a race, not at all. It's more like a puzzle. Let me break that down for you. Okay, so think about it like this. On one side, you've got what we all picture, speed, highways, that big adrenaline rush. But on the other side, we've got something called trials riding, and it's the total opposite. We're talking skill, patience. You're dealing with tricky obstacles, not weaving through traffic. It's slow, it's deliberate, it's just a whole different ballgame. Yeah, it's basically the art of incredible balance and super precise control. And get this, it's usually done at a walking pace, sometimes even slower. The whole point isn't to be the fastest. The goal is to be the smoothest, the most in control, to get through this crazy obstacle course without ever dabbing a foot down. All right, so it's slow, it's skillful. Big deal, right? Well, actually, yeah, it's a huge deal. Because the way this sport works, it has some pretty amazing benefits, not just for your body, but for your brain too. And I love this idea that your brain deserves more than just a crossword puzzle. I mean, those are great, sure. But our brains crave new, active challenges to stay sharp. Just think about it for a second. Every single rock, every log, every tight turn, it's a new puzzle for your brain to solve in real time. You're constantly reading the terrain, picking a line, making these tiny little adjustments. And the science backs this up. This is exactly the kind of thing that builds new pathways in your brain and keeps you sharp as a tack. Okay, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something really important. One of the biggest threats to staying independent as we get older is losing our balance. A fall, it can be a real game changer, and not in a good way. And that's why this quote just hits the nail on the head. Trials riding is basically the world's most fun balance therapy. You're up on the bike, shifting your weight, making all these little corrections. You're training the exact muscles and reflexes that keep you stable in your daily life. And you get to do it outside in the fresh air. It's kind of genius, right? But this is where it gets really, really interesting. This whole story kind of flips on its head. Because in this sport, age isn't a weakness. It's not a liability. No, it's your superpower. I mean, check out these superpowers. Patience, thinking things through, knowing your limits, and not doing something stupid. Does that sound like a teenager to you? Nah, that's wisdom. That's stuff you earn over decades. And in trials, those aren't just nice-to-have skills. They are what make you good. And this right here, this is what that looks like. Getting over something like that isn't about strength or being the most athletic person out there. It's all about technique, thinking ahead, and control. It's experience over sheer athleticism, plain and simple. There's something else too, something a little deeper. When you're on that bike, trying to work your way through a tricky spot, there's no room in your brain for anything else. You're not thinking about emails or bills or what you need from the grocery store. You are just there, 100% in the moment. You know, people call that a flow state. Everything else just disappears.
It's like this active form of meditation. Honestly, people pay a lot of money to go on retreats to try and find this feeling. And trials riding? It's just baked into the experience. It happens every time you ride.
And get this, you're not out there on your own. The community around this sport is amazing. It's known for being super welcoming with basically zero ego. Everybody helps everybody. You'll find people competing well into their 70s and 80s. It's not a sport you age out of. It's a sport you can do for the rest of your life.
Okay, so let's recap. We've seen how this totally turns our ideas about age upside down. We've talked about the incredible benefits for your mind and body. And we've seen how all that life experience actually makes you better at it. So, after all that, there's really only one person left to talk about, and that's you.
Listen, if there's even a tiny part of you that has that little voice in the back of your head, the one that whispers, it's too late or you can't do that anymore, I'm here to tell you that voice is flat out wrong. You are not too old for this.
In fact, it's the opposite. All that patience you've learned, that wisdom you've picked up over the years, that wasn't just getting you ready for a quiet retirement. No way. It was getting you ready for this. You're not too old. You're finally ready.